Billionaire Bill was like a kid in a candy shop. Retrofuturism, said Bill, like a movie about the future made in 1938. Bill had obviously read transcripts from the famous Mr. Boots lectures. Look back, look forward, wake the fuck up. Marlowe thought of Bunny and Bester. When is a joke not a joke, and not a joke a joke? And what happens when nobody knows the difference? But for now, all Marlowe could do was just take in the mob scene. Hell, who wouldn't want to go to heaven for the midnight champagne brunch? Not that he would trust the freshness of the caviar. Marlowe evaded a swarming wall of vintage Zeiss Icon Icoflex cameras, but the paparazzi didn't go into click mode until the Russian-built bulletproof RS Senate limo purred up. All that glittered was real on the gangster's girl, icon of a tawdry time, an era of fury, craze, and subversive cabaret. Much was speculated about her disappearance. Some said she'd gone to Madrid, some to Shanghai, but she missed the action, and there was a popular song written about her. The gangster's girl glitters in gold, sharp her stiletto heels. Before she left town, she took the gangster down. Sharp was the blade of the gangster's girl. The ventilator and the close-up man admired her work. Such the wrath of the gangster's girl. With her were the ambassador of the previous age and the ambassador of the age to come, both out of step with now. Marlowe knew each well. They were there to see Martine Carroll, the original gangster's girl. Would Martine revise her role as Lola Montez and dance the spider dance? Would Lola Montez bathe naked in a tub of champagne before her guests? A dozen or so tall, leggy Russian and Ukrainian models climbed the steep steps to heaven's door, the oligarch's favorite haunt. High rollers only, no lucky dimes here. Oh, such beauties, the new honey scent. Such were the things that kept heaven heavenly, and movie stars. The flash bulbs exploded when Scheherazade appeared with Bobby Zen. An on-again, off-again torrid affair. The fluff of tabloid heaven. Scheherazade Inc., her face ever-changing. In Bengal, she appeared Bengalese. In Burma, Burmese. In Sudan, Sudanese. 1,001 stories, how many true? Bobby Zen, Scheherazade. Looked good in boldface, good for business. She wore a tight-fitting cloche hat, adorned with a web veil that covered her face. Through the web, you saw gray eyes and red around the mouth. As cameras blind, we see her hand over her face. The love glove. What else? Heaven, open at 11. Jackson Pollock couldn't come in. You needed a Salmonby Chase to get into heaven. Jackson Pollock died insolvent. Jackson Pollock would not be in heaven. But inside he lived, or that is died, the curtain raiser, a new Bunny and Bester song. Angels in shimmering silk with paint-splattered wings, mimicking the stairway that is the iconic club entrance. Above the piano on stage, a painting Marlowe attributed to Art Smitten. Jackson Pollock's death car in 4 colors. The music began. Jackson Pollock on a spree, Jackson Pollock in a tree. Welcome to heaven, Jackson Pollock, lucky you signed Pollock on your sleeve. See Jackson Pollock's private plane, see his yacht by the shore. For the price of a Pollock, you too can sail blue sea and more. Loopholes number 7 bingo, those wiggles and squiggles. JP's language, oh, dig that lingo. Sure his death was not the prettiest, like a Pollock, kind of the messiest. But for an abstract expressionist, heaven is an open door. Heaven, doors open at 11, for the price of a Pollock, and it must be signed, heaven is an open door. Meine Damen und Herren, this way, please. Zecht for all, said Zigmar Polke in 1964. Said Art Smitten, artist of the future, it's the little pop that makes the difference. Heaven, I'm in heaven. Oh, the bubbles, the fizz. On late nights in the town, a stream of confetti rains down, where the underworld meets the elite, 42nd Street. In the party in his head, Marlowe would drift through the world with style. It would be a comedy of errors, witty cracks, wicked talent, with Cole Porter-esque party scenes organized by Elsa Maxwell in Paris, or at the Waldorf Astoria in New York, where Cole opens the door for Gene Kelly, who charges in and dances on the couch, while Ella Fitzgerald follows doing scat jazz. And of course, George Gershwin mans the piano when Louis Armstrong enters with Lady Day. Oh, and now, Sarah Vaughan. I got a right to sing the blues. I got a right to moan and sigh. I got a right to sit and cry down around the river. I know the deep blue sea will soon be calling me. It must be love, say what you choose. I got a right to sing the blues. And Etta, blue gardenia. After hours, these past legends transport on magic carpet to a future era as the party moves to Love Token Alley, a tougher part of town, Marlowe's part of town. Squalor and mayhem, oh, the life. But rents were low if you lived 12 to a bungalow. Such was the romance to be found at this Garden of Allah. And don't worry about the green sludge in the pool. They should have that fungus cleared up soon. So much history seems like only yesterday Mussolini is a weenie. String him up by the balls was painted on the wall. Now a sign throbs, Mussolini weenie, hot dog. Bad pop cultural appropriation. Chinatown Jakes. Girl funny. Big Lie Pizza. Open kimono. Marlowe told Bill there was no one at the open kimono he wanted to see open his or her kimono. Some things best unseen. Bill seemed more at home with all the future technology than Marlowe did. All the buttons and little bug things, screens you waved on and off in the air. And Marlowe did appreciate the apps that kept the holograms at bay. He had to admit those perfume ads could be very seductive. A man sells used coats in the street. La Boheme, yesterday, today, and tomorrow. The billionaire had an eye for worn artists' coats. One he suspected was worn by Art Smitten, and another with a Romanian label might have been a Brancusi. Bill could keep the pace, could go the dog. Go, dog, go, my boy Bill. And he was ready to go everywhere, as the party was everywhere. A movable feast. Smarty, everywhere and nowhere, talking to Marlowe, making Marlowe laugh. Quotes attributed to Oscar Levant, who Marlowe met when he was 10. I knew her before she was a virgin. There's a fine line between genius and insanity. I have erased this line. Happiness isn't something you experience, it's something you remember. Oscar Levant was the first to point to Marlowe that he had an internal laugh track. What Oscar Levant perhaps didn't suspect was that Marlowe had an internal monologue track churning out snappy, silent voiceover. Wherever she went, whatever she did, it finally got to her that Buenos Aires was her own private prison, and she decided to run away. She went to Montevideo, got a job singing in a nightclub, started divorce proceedings, and met a man. Amado mio, love me forever, and let forever begin tonight. If only Marlowe could hire writers like that. Club Bonga can be anywhere, but Smarty's party is always at Club Bonga. Marlowe, with Bill in tow, twisted and turned and read the walls as if he could read infrared, and appeared before a plain cinder-block hall with no roof. It had blown off in the hurricane. On the wall in black spray paint, the sacred spiral. Near the door, a tithing basket. Tithing 10 cents, like the ancient temple of love. A side lane off a side street, no sign. In marker near the door, Mr. Boots, 10 cents. You could hear laughs, hear whoops, hear the cheers. 3 cheers for Zigmar Polke, 3 cheers for capitalist realism. Given the razzle-dazzle of last year's party, low-down Tiki Town was a contrast. Not to say that Elsa Maxwell hadn't transported her corpulence as the meaner paper says, to see over everything, from the red dirt floor and pin-like palm trees to the mechanical elephant Celebes, who poured Moët Chandon out of its trunk. The place was jumping.